My name is Tahiera Monique Brown, and I am a survivor of domestic violence. And that guy held me hostage on my job the first time, and when I got away from him, and that guy arrived home to what I thought would be my safe haven, he was there with my children, playing checkers on the porch with my children, and I knew our lives was in danger. And from that day on, my children and I were held hostage. And our whole survival depended on each other. And we were constantly told what would happen to us if either one of us told what was going on. Most of the time I was held hostage by him. We had knives pulled on us, guns pulled on us, and constant threats. And he could stay awake for days at a time, threatening her. Whenever I was away from my home, he had my children. What made me make a decision to set us free was that made me live or die. I wanted out of this. And so I took an opportunity to try to save my children. But what happened that weekend was I saw him sexually molesting my daughter. And after seeing that, I had to work with a plan with my daughter on how we were going to get free. My daughter was threatening to commit suicide. And I told her that Monday, do not come home. But also, he was threatening all that weekend because he suspected that I saw him. And he was threatening that weekend that at Monday evening, my children were not going to see Tuesday. And it was something about the way that he said that I knew that he was going to kill my children. And so I had to figure a way to save us. And I took an overdose, not to die, but to get some help. And in essence of doing that, I ended up in intensive care in a coma. And when I was recovering from the coma, detectives got involved in my case. I had told my daughter to contact a homicide detective, and she did that. And when she contacted him, he led her to J. Tom Morgan, who was an advocate for children of sexual molestation in Decatur, Georgia. And for 2 years, he fought for us, and we won our case. And the guy got 40 years for sexually molesting my daughter. One of the things I had to do was work through my fear. Because I gave an excuse to fear every time I would accomplish a goal. I would hold back and would not become the best that I could be because I always had this fear, well, what if I finally become successful at something and he finds me if he ever gets out of prison? So I had to start putting him, the victimization before me. I had to start putting the fact that I am worthy to be appreciated, I am worthy to be respected, and I am worthy to be loved. But I had to do that for myself first before I could go out here and do it for someone else. Be able to let people look at me and see me as a survivor. And then when they finally see me walking down the street, someone would not know my story. Someone would say, wow, that lady looks very successful. That lady looks very good. She takes good care of herself. And then when they hear my story, then they know I'm talking as a survivor and not as a victim. A lot of victims like myself didn't know the help that was out there now was out there, even with the help that they had available to them then. I would say trust your instincts, trust other people, seek out your local shelter, let them advise you, and trust the advice that they're giving you. And try not to look back, try to look forward. And I would say being a victim is not an option. Living in fear is not an option. Being free is an option.